Hi, this is Doug Gallagher, and today I'm just going to talk about why I'm involved in the timeshares. I just love timeshares. I've toyed with them for the last 30 years. My first timeshare was in Ventura, California, right on the marina. I went there every year. I never traded, never did any of these extras for my first few years as my kids were raising. But I did use one thing, and that is they had bonus time, which was the ability for me to go there at the last minute. If there was anything available, they would let owners rent it at a discount. So I went there one weekend a month from January to June, and then I went on my week in the summer, and we had a great time. 7 times a year I would go there, and so I had a great time. At that place they had a bulletin board, and on the bulletin board you could post, if you were wanting out of your timeshare, you could post your name and your number. And so they didn't get involved in the selling, but they did post that, and there were some people. So I called up. But anyhow, I called up, and 2 people had 2 weeks, and each one wanted $3,000. Now I paid $12,500 for my one, and they want $3,000 for 2 just a few years later. And I'm thinking, okay. So I maxed out a credit card I had, and I paid $3,000 to one of them, and I owned 2 timeshares. And then the next week later, the other guy calls up, and he says, well, do you want this or not? You know, I need money. And I says, no. I says, I went ahead and bought the other one. And he says, man, he says, I'll give them to you for $2,000. And I says, hold that thought. Okay. And so I said, wait until Saturday. I can't get up there till Saturday anyway, so we can hold off till Saturday. I'll see what I can do. I talked to everyone I knew, both at work, everyone I knew, and I sold somebody at work one of those timeshares for $2,800. So I bought 2 of them for $3,000, sold one of them for $2,800, and they got 1/5 of the price that I paid for the other one, right? And so now I took that $2,800, and I took $2,000 of it and paid for the other 2 timeshares, took $800 and paid on to my account. So then what I did is I ran ads for $2,000 for the timeshare, and I sold both those extra ones each for $2,000. So I was now out of debt, had an extra $2,000, and I had a timeshare for free. So this is pretty cool. Okay, and so I kept doing that. Anytime I saw a timeshare that I'd really like, I had 4 weeks off, so I would keep myself 4 timeshares. If I got tired of one, or if I saw something else I really wanted, then I would run an ad to sell the other one, and I'd buy the other one. So I kept doing that for a few years, and then one day, after 18 years of work, somehow politically, in some political movement, they downsized all the people that were close to retirement. I had 2 more years I'd have full retirement with the Teamsters, and I got downsized. Tell me how that happened, you know? And so at that point, I had no money to pay maintenance fee on 4 timeshares, and actually right away I got another job, and that's why I was okay on the money, but I had no week's vacation. So when am I going to go? You know. So I started thinking out of the box, and I found 4 friends that I could trust, and I says, look, I says, if you want this, I will give you my timeshare. Just give it to you. Only keep my name on it so that I can get bonus time. Because that's where I really like to use these 4 timeshares. Part of the reason why I picked one timeshare over another is how good a bonus time it gave me. So I still have all 4 of those timeshares 30 years later, and I have not paid 1 dime to those timeshares. I've owned them as a co-owner for somewhere around 30 years, and yet I go on vacations all the time. One is in Indio. Why would I go to Indio? I live in Mesa. One desert for another desert? No thank you. But they have a sister company in Solana Beach in San Diego. And so I go there on bonus time, $75 a night. And I've gone there pretty much at least once a year for 30 years. So it's not costing me unless I rent it. So that's kind of, I was happy with that. And then in 2013, somebody asked me to check on a given timeshare they wanted. And I said, sure, I'll do what I can. I was blown away. There was, because of the economy and because of everyone losing their jobs, getting downsized, I found with all my Craigslist ads and some other ads that I would go to, which I'll explain on other videos, I found over 100. I mean, I listed them on a spreadsheet. I found over 100 ads in one night of timeshares that I could have for free. Okay? Now, would I wanted more than 10 of those? No. Okay, too high maintenance fees, they were points, whatever the reason. But the point is, that's how many there were out there. So I said, I gotta do something with this. So I concocted up a thing that scared my wife to death. Okay, she trusted me, let me do it. I wouldn't have done it without her blessing, but she was scared. And that is in 2014, at the beginning of the year, to where I'd have a whole year to work it. Right after they had paid the maintenance fees, I took over 17 timeshares for free from people, individual people. And so now I had them. I didn't pay a dime for any one of them. And as soon as they were mine, which takes about 3 months to get the paperwork done, as soon as I had them, I traded those weeks into a trading company. And I traded them all into trading places because they give me 2 weeks for every week I give them. So I ended up with 35 weeks that I can pull out of a trading company. 35 weeks. And what was my cost so far? Nothing. Okay. But whenever I pull out a week, it's going to cost me about a couple $100. That's their fee to pull out. So I turn around and rent those. It cost me, actually with RCI, it cost me a little over $300 because I have to buy a guest certificate. So it cost me from $200 to $300, and I rent them for $595, $695, 1-2 bedroom places, full kitchens. So I'm helping out the guy who I helped get out of it. I'm helping out the people who are renting, and then as soon as I pulled it out, I then run ads to give it away, and I give it away to someone. And the whole idea is to get in, milk the weeks, and then get out before the end of the year, before there's a maintenance fee. And that's where my wife was scared. She could just picture me with $10,000, $12,000 bill at the end of the year because I couldn't sell any. Everyone says you can't sell timeshares. Well, I sold them, and basically the only thing I use is Craigslist. So if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, I wouldn't suggest you do it that big, but I'll do another video talking about how you could kind of do that in a little more detail, if you want. You don't have to. So at that point, that's where I'm at now. And I just enjoy this because I not only am helping all 3 people, but I get some great deals myself. I mean, on these extra weeks that I've got, this year I traded in to trading places 12 weeks, and they had a promotional going where they give me 2 bonus weeks plus my week. So for those 12 weeks, I ended up with 36 weeks, 24 of them bonus weeks. Now the bonus weeks I can only use out of weeks that are only 45 days out, so I have to look for short stuff. So when I run my ads, I only show timeshares out to a month and a half out, And people call me and say, yeah, I like this one, and I rent it to them and use up one of my weeks. But if I see something, like for instance, I saw a couple years ago, it was the first or 2nd of August, and up pops Jackson Hole, Wyoming, on the 16th of August, 2 weeks away, in a 2-bedroom. I'm going, honey, have you ever been to Yellowstone? And she says, nope. I says, we're going. So I bought that. Now, we're 2 days away and 2 days back, so she could take a week off, but no more. So I couldn't stay the whole week. So I ran an ad in Utah and Idaho for a 2-bedroom, a Jackson Hole for $99 a night for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got an answer right away. So he paid me almost $300, and he stayed there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I spent the weekend driving up there, and nice, slow vacation. I didn't even take the freeway. I took surface streets all the way going up from Arizona to Jackson Hole, and had a great time. And then when I got there, I stayed there for the last 5 days, left on a Friday, and I spent the next weekend coming home. So they not only paid for my, the money I paid, but they even paid half my gas. And I do that all the time, and you can do that too. I stayed up at Flagstaff not too long ago. I stayed there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sold the rest, and made money. I did it in Lake Arrowhead, up in the mountains in California. I made money, yet I vacationed. So that's a biggie for me, to be able to go on a vacation for a weekend, bring my wife, and we're getting it for free. I'm actually making a little money. So, timeshares themselves, if you do it right, are good, and they're fun, and they save you money. You just can't get burnt by doing it the presentation way. So with my information, hopefully you can learn how to enjoy them. And with that, I'll sign off. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed hearing about what turned me on, the various things I've tried. And if you have any questions, you feel free to call me up and bounce whatever questions you have off. There are a lot of times I hear people saying that they rent their weeks every year, and they rent them for $1,200, $1,600 for the week. Well, that's great. I haven't found that, but then they must be using somebody besides Craigslist, okay? Because if I don't have a bargain price, it's hard to sell even the rental. So I don't know that I would buy one with the idea of renting for profit, although it's possible and people do it. So with that, I'll sign off, and thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to follow me and like me, and here, you want a hug? I felt that. Okay, I like you too. Okay, sign up. Bye-bye.